Good morning, children. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bigger. Not too big? No, that should work. Let's see if I can make it one more. I think that'll work, kids. I'm a little in the way there. I enjoy messing with this thing to see how I can get it to work. It doesn't matter if you can't see me. Today, we're going to do our last lesson quiz out of the iReady book. We're going to do lesson 10. We're going to do the Common Core practice about word meanings. Forgive me that this page is a little crooked. The 4 questions, 1 through 4, we're not going to do number 5. The 4 questions on 1 through 4, I'm going to put on an iReady quiz. So let's go back and again, let's read the questions first and the answers, and then we'll go back and we'll read the text. Because again, this is a trick and a tool you should always do with doing any type of multiple guess or multiple choice. Number 1, in paragraph 1, when the opera singer Irene Gubrid says, "I felt whole," what does she mean? A, she always knew she would grow up to sing opera. B, she realized that nothing was missing from her life. C, she understood that sound affected her body. D, she believed that opera was the best type of music. 2, read the sentence from paragraph 5. The overall effect is like listening to music underwater. What does this sentence tell the reader about how the music sounded? A, the music sounded like waves. B, the music sounded loud and thunderous. C, the music sounded muted and distant. D, the music sounded mysterious. 3, which sentence from the book excerpt shows the author's positive feelings about music? A, they know, they feel, that sound impacts our body in a way no other part does. B, he thinks that because we live in a very visual society, we're more aware of what we see than what we hear. C, this human relationship to sound starts early. D, Woodward is convinced that we begin learning about music even before birth. Finally, 4, which phrase from the book excerpt best helps a reader understand the meaning of the term startle response? A, the fetal heart rate became slightly elevated. B, the baby's heart rate lowers while the mother is listening. C, the mother finds a certain piece of music stressful. D, the fetus is echoing the mother's response. Okay, so now let's go back up and read this. From The Power of Music by Elena Manes. Many musicians have an instinctive understanding of how musical sound interacts with our bodies. They know, they feel that sound impacts our bodies in a way no other art does. Opera singer Irene Gubrid says, "As a very young child, I experienced who I was through sound. I felt whole." Daniel Bernard Raumain, a young cross-genre violist who is known as DBR, thinks one reason music is so powerful is that sound actually penetrates our bodies. You know, when someone says that a piece of music touched me or moved me, it's very literal. The sound of my voice enters your ear canal and it's moving your eardrum. That's a very intimate act. I am very literally touching you, and when you speak to me, you are literally touching me. And then we extend that principle to the sound of a violin. The conductor and pianist David Barenboim believes that our early connection to sound is another reason for its power. One that in today's world we sometimes forget. He thinks that because we live in a very visual society, we're more aware of what we see than what we hear. But he reminds us that the latest scientific evidence reveals that the ear, which we now know is active even in the womb, has an advantage over the eye. He also says, the ear has a head start over the eye, which doesn't see anything until it comes out. The eye is also something that one can control more fully. If you don't like the way I look, you don't want to see me. You close your eyes and I disappear. But if you don't like my voice and you're in the same room when you cannot shut your ears in the natural way, sound literally penetrates the human body. This human relationship to sound starts early. The fetus begins to develop an auditory system between 17 and 19 weeks. Already we are in the world of sound, of breath and heartbeat, of rhythm and vibration. But how do we know what the fetus actually hears? Until recently, there were different theories. Some doctors thought that the fetus could hear only some frequencies, probably high ones. It certainly wasn't known whether we could hear and respond to music before birth until the groundbreaking research by Sheila Woodward, a South African, who wanted to know more about musical sound in the womb. She was a young scientist in the early 1990s and pregnant. She wondered what music her own child was being exposed to before birth. In her studies at the University of Cape Town, she worked with the Institute for Maritime Technology to adapt an underwater microphone so it could be placed in the uterus. As we listen to the recordings that Woodward conducted with several mothers in the early stages of labor, we first hear the rhythmic sound of blood coursing through the uterine artery. Says Woodward, nature allows us to evolve with rhythm all around us. And her recordings reveal that a landscape of musical sound does indeed surround the fetus. Along with the natural womb sounds, we hear the strains of a Bach Brandenburg concerto being played, or the melody of Mary Had a Little Lamb as Woodward sings in a normal tone of voice. The recordings show that the very high frequencies, like the sharp attack of an instrument, are attuned and the sound a bit muffled. That's wrong. Are attenuated and the sound a bit muffled. The overall effect is like listening to music underwater. But when listening to the human voice, one can still detect whether it's a woman or a man, and the tonal quality of the voice comes through. Just because the sound of music exists in the womb doesn't necessarily mean that the fetus hears it. Yet, the startle response of the fetus was measured as well, and Woodward's team found that when music was played, the fetal heart rate became slightly elevated. Woodward says it was clear that the fetus reacted if, to say, something happened and now there's music. Other studies show that even if only the mother hears music, if she had headphones on and it is music she finds soothing, the baby's heart rate lowers while the mother is listening. If the mother finds a certain piece of music stressful, the baby's heart rate goes up. So the fetus is echoing the mother's response to the quality of the music. Woodward is convinced we begin learning about music even before birth. She points out that even when music that can penetrate the womb is absent, the fetus is surrounded by those natural rhythms of the body, heartbeat and pulse and breath. All right, kiddos. So again, after reading and listening to this, you're going to go back and you're going to do questions 1 through 4 as a Schoology quiz. This will be worth 20 points, 5 points apiece. As always, if you have any questions, please raise your hand in class. Remote learners, if we still have remote learners, please unmute yourself and say hi, and I will help you, or message me through Schoology. Thank you very much, pirates, and have a super sparkly day.